In life, I try and not be a hypocrite because it helps me stay true to my word. So, with that being said, last week when Denmark down the road beat Burnley at home, I told them to relax. You just beat a promoted championship team. And yeah, and we done the same. We beat a promoted championship team in Leeds. I said previously, the gap between the bottom of the Premier League and the top of the Championship is massive. So the gap between the top of the Premier League and the top of the Championship is massive, times 10 plus 7. So we got the win as expected. We beat Leeds United 5-0 at home, and we're going to talk about today. I'm SJ, your host, and welcome to the Good News from Block 5. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into the show notes. Before the game, Eberechi Eze was introduced to the crowd, a massive lift for everyone. You know, we all know what happened during the week. Spoke about it in the last pod. Snatching Eze from Denmark down the road, fantastic. And it was great to see him out on the pitch. You can see how overwhelmed he was. He's been waiting for this moment his whole life, it looks, after being released as a youngster from Arsenal. He's worked hard, he's gone from club to club, and he's battled back to where he belongs. So, yeah, welcome to the club, Eberechi Eze. And, I mean, we could talk about it today, but it's going to be needed going forward, it looks like, straight away. So, yeah, I mean, in the starting lineup, Noni Madueke coming in for Gabriel Martinelli. I think I did actually say it on last pod that might expect him to come in, given we're playing a promoted team. You know, there's a bit of a furore, I mean, uproar, shall I say, around his signing. So what better way to ingratiate yourself to the crowd than put a good performance against a team that won't put up much opposition in a promoted team? And also at right back, Timber, I said he might start just to, tackle just up against Willie Nonto. But it looks like Ben White was out of injury regardless. So Timber came in, and the rest of the team was expected, given the injuries and the people missing from the squad. Uh, yeah, I mean, getting into the first half, I think we started slow. Um, Calafiore, you can see him. Obviously, we know he brings to our team. In the first part of the first half, he was overlapping on Noni. I mean, Noni, like I said, he was given his start, but his crossing was poor, in my opinion. He couldn't beat the first man. His crosses just couldn't beat the first man. His first cross of the game, it's gone straight into the keeper's hands, and he couldn't have put that ball into that dangerous channel. It's pretty disappointing, given that he's on his favorite, not his favorite side, but a strong side with his strong foot. His strong foot is left foot, and he should be whipping the ball. I would expect the ball to be whipped backwards out and out the box, as opposed to crossing into the keeper's hands. And just that inability to beat the first man was a bit disappointing. But him and we seem to get a bit of a production down that left hand side, even though it wasn't coming to any great end product. But Calafiore, he was overlapping on Noni, and they were linking up pretty well in those first 10 to 15 minutes. Zubimendi in the midfield started a bit slow, a few stray passes. There was a stray pass just on the outside of our box of Declan Rice. We managed to win it back straight away, and another couple of stray passes into Martin Odegaard. I think he got those out of system early, and the rest of the game was a typical Martin Zubimendi game, to be honest. Um, Not much in terms of chances for ourselves in the first 20 minutes. It seemed like we just couldn't break Leeds down. Our passing was very slow. Our play was pretty slow. We allowed them to get set. Um, and they actually had the first chance of the game from a corner, decent header down the middle, a save expected to be made by Raya. And yeah, I mean, we spoke about it before. Last season, I think we conceded 35% or higher. I think it might be 38% of our goals were conceded last year from set piece. So it looks like we're still a bit vulnerable in that sense from set pieces. But we didn't concede, which is a positive. But we might want to tighten up on that front. Um, but after that, I mean, as we all know, Leeds didn't have a shot on target after that. To be honest, they have a shot of any note after that header that was saved. Um, but from early, just going back from early, we did set our stall out pretty clear. We were winning that ball up high. there was a point, I think it was after 5, 10 minutes, where Big Gabby, he's pushed up the pitch on Tanaka in their final third and won the ball back. And once you win the ball back that high, they're just set back into a low block, camping, trying to keep us out, which they did well. We couldn't break them down. Like I said, with slow play, but it was slow. Our passes weren't very penetrative. Um, not much direct passing. I mean, those low intricate passes weren't on. We just turned away from them and making the simple passes. But I've said previously, to unlock the low block like this and teams that they defend very doggedly, you're going to have to play those little intricate passes because those are passes they don't expect and the passes they're unable to defend and they're not actually planned for. Um, yeah, I mean, no chances. Victor Gyökeres had a half chance. Again, it was from our high pressing, which we did very well throughout the whole game. Um, Zubimendi and Rice in particular, their counter pressing, interceptions and tackles were spectacular between both of them throughout the whole game. I can't remember if it was Rice or Zubimendi who won the ball back as they tried to play out the box, and the ball fell to Gyökeres. He got a bit flustered. I wouldn't say flustered. He just didn't know it's coming. He had a lot of time. He could have actually controlled the ball and had a chance from like 6 yards out on the goalkeeper, but he's kind of rushed and stretched and not got there, and the chance has gone by the wayside. Um, and after that, I mean, our next chance and actually our goal. We went back to that well that keeps giving, that magic well, being set pieces. A great cross from Declan Rice. I mean, he's crossing. We can see in the first 2 games, his crosses have been so on point. He's got a great delivery. He's one of our tallest players who you expect to be in the box, but with that delivery, we can't fault him taking our corners. You can see Big Gabby. I think I said previously, he's going to obviously take a lot of attention because he was our main scorer from set pieces in the past couple of seasons. So he's taken a few players with him at the front post. And Timber, who's not the tallest player on the pitch, but he's got a spring on him. Yeah, don't count him out. He's got a decent spring on him. A fantastic header into the far corner. At the time, I thought it was an own goal because the celebration was very muted. It looked like Leeds was his former club, and he didn't want to celebrate out of respect. So I generally thought it was an own goal. But the replay, it showed for certain that it was his goal. Great flick into the far corner. I think they had a man on the post, or not properly on the post, which is probably something that he might get shouted at by his manager. But he found a little gap between the player and the post, and that put us 1-0 up. And I think I mean, as a promoted team coming to a side like Arsenal, top team, you're going to cling on as long as possible. And I think had we not got that goal, Leeds were gaining confidence. They could keep us out in open play. Like I said, we wasn't making much chances in open play. So that goal came at the right time. Just take the wind out of their sails, put their head down, because they were going to find it hard to get out anyway. So yeah, that was good to get that lead at that time. Just before the goal, I'm not sure what minute. I can't remember what minute. Martin Odegaard, he got tackled to the ground and fell awkwardly and hurt his shoulder. I've done it myself previously. It kills. It pretty much very much kills. He managed to carry on for a bit. It looked at the time that Ethan was going to come on straight away because he got called back and started getting a t-shirt on and getting dressed. But Martin Odegaard continued for another 10, 15 minutes. I don't see why. If you're injured, come off. It's fine. But it got to the point where he couldn't carry on. So he had to come off. Like I said, we've got Eze coming in now. So it's not too downbeat. But obviously, Odegaard's our captain. He sets our press. He's one of our leaders. He's a bit marmite in the moment in terms of the opinion on his performances. Some people say he's not playing well for like 18 months now. But he contributes. He does contribute in his own way, in my opinion. So it's not good to see players going down, especially we've had Havertz out last week and now Odegaard yesterday. So yeah, Ethan's come on for Odegaard. It's a good boost for him for him to come on. I mean, he didn't play much in pre-season where I thought he would, but He's come on in a position where we might think he could excel, which is inside Saka. Uh, and I think he came on. It was a pretty quiet game. Didn't do anything out of the ordinary. He just played, kept the ball moving. Yeah, he didn't do anything that would say he had a poor game or a great game. He just played the role well, even to be honest. So then, yeah, after that, we got our second goal. We lost the ball, and I spoke about that Zubimendi and Rice press, that counter press, that will to get the ball back after we lost it. We've lost the ball. Declan Rice to put a sprint on, put their player off, which allows Zubimendi to get the ball back. Ball's gone to Timber. He's played a beautiful ball down the outside of the defender. Saka's done an inside channel, inside run. And he's smashed the ball, was right foot top corner. It was pretty similar to a goal that he scored at Ellen Road a couple of seasons back. The angle at Ellen Road was a bit more tight, but nonetheless, it was from the same side. Right foot, smash the keeper's. The ball's gone past the keeper before he can even blink. Yeah, 2-0. That's all she wrote, really. It was always going to be an uphill battle from 1-0, but 2-0. I think the game was up for Leeds, and as you can see, the rest of the game, it showed. I mean, half time, there wasn't much after that happened after the goal from Saka. Um, half time came and went, and the second half started in the same familiar fashion. Dominance, we pinned them in their half. They just couldn't get out. Anytime they tried to knock the ball out, our big defenders, solid, aggressive, on the front foot, nicking the ball, and give it to the midfield and let them do what they're doing. That's if it gets that far. If not, you had Zubi and Rice in front, cleaning up and mopping up as they were doing. Yeah, I mean, this leads us to Victor Gyökeres. We had a chance in the first half, rushed it. There may have been discussion at half time just to get the ball quicker over the top, just not to allow them set too much. And it was familiar to what it was like in the Bilbao game. A quick ball over the top, first time for a player to run in behind. Victor Gyökeres, obviously, that's the way he likes to play. He was on a half turn, ready for anything that may be knocked over the top. And Calafiori duly obliged. I'm not sure, I didn't see if he had a look, but he knocked it into a decent area into a channel. Gyökeres ran onto it. I'm going to say this. I think it was poor defending from the Leeds defenders. Very poor defending. It was a good run and finish nonetheless, but the manner in which he got into the box just seemed a bit too easy. He didn't feint. He got a few small little touches, but there were two of them, and he just let him run by, in my opinion. But I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's done the run himself, and he's found the bottom corner near post with a nice finish, So that's his first Emirates goal. Celebration came out, as we all like to see, Hopefully we see it a lot more times this season, home and away. Let's just hope next week Victor Gyökeres can help us out at Anfield. You don't want to become known as a flat track bully. He's got 2 goals in 2 games. We're going to get to a second goal later. But yeah, I mean, off the mark in front of the home crowd. You can't ask for more, can you, really? And then the next part just really, really took the wind out of me, I'll be honest. Saka injury. He's got a little mazy run. I think he should actually pass the ball to him as he's doing the run, but he's got a little mazy run and he's felt something and pulled up. And I'll be honest with you guys and girls, when that happened, I just want to turn the game off because our luck is just terrible. If it wasn't for bad luck, we wouldn't have no luck at all. Havertz down injury, like I said, Odegaard, and then Saka. It looked like he was signaling his hamstring, and we know he's had previous hamstring injuries. That was on his right leg before. This was on his left leg, which I think could be probably worse because that's his function leg. That's the leg he shoots with, So that's the leg that's going to get all the tension going through it, all the freaking torques when he shoots and crosses. So you don't want to rush that. I mean, we don't know how long it's going to be. Hopefully it's a few weeks back after the international break, hopefully. Well, it's not good. It's not good when one of your best players, if not your best player, goes down injured so soon, so early in the season. When we know what's coming up next, we've got Liverpool, City, Newcastle, Forest. Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. And we wish him a speedy recovery, to be honest. Uh, so he came off, and with that, we put Noni on the right hand side, brought on Trossard. Noni's back on his familiar side to him, and he had good glimpses early. Kind of fade out after when Max Dowman came on for him because he was off the pitch. Duh. But no, he went on the right hand side. He looked decent um, in one instance. Not much more to really report about him on the right, but he does look more comfortable on the right, which is what he's known for in his previous clubs. With Saka out, he could get an extended run there now. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, he does well when he goes on the right hand side. Um, so yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, Noni came off. Max Dowman came on, the man of the hour. The kid's 15 years old and he's tearing it up. He's just tearing it up. He's making it look so easy. He's making it look very, very easy for his age. He came on straight away, and his ability is just being direct. I've said before he's fearless. We've all said it before he's fearless. He's just a fearless in character and just dribbles. He, he's not worried about strength. 'Cause obviously these men are going to be stronger than him, but he backs himself in terms of pace, his body feints, and his feet to get through players and get out of trouble. And he's a hard worker. He's also a hard worker. He'll track back. He tracked back in pre-season, and he tracked back in this game as well, where needed. Um, and yeah, I mean, we got our fourth goal. Just I'm going to come back down after that. Sorry, I read my notes wrong around. Our fourth goal, we went back to that old magic well again. Um, the magic well that keeps on giving. Our set piece well, and it was Timber again from the set piece. Another great delivery from Dex. Bit of a melee, and Timbers knocked it in, just jabbed it in for his second goal in the game. I think he said he's not sure if he's ever done that before in his career. Um, would have been nice to get a hat trick. It's neither here nor there. It's not my business. But I'm not sure he can take penalties. Never seen him take one. Uh, but yeah, I mean, set pieces, they're going to be big for us this season. Obviously, teams have tried to defend us well, but they can't because we just keep adapting like a chameleon when it comes to set pieces. So 4-0, game is pretty much over. Saka's off injured, heads down. Didn't really celebrate. I clapped the goal, but I wasn't really shouting because I was still a bit downbeat about Saka. But Max Dowman, back to Max Dowman, he did brighten up the game for all of us, I can imagine. Another one of his fearless runs down the right hand side. He's nicked inside, and his foot's just been slightly trodden. Some might think it was soft, but when you move at the speed that these players do, the slightest touch or slightest step on a toe, slightest nick of a heel, it's enough to put you off your balance. And it was a Stonewall pen. Referee gave it straight away. VAR got involved, didn't even saw no reason to overturn it. And that's his third penalty he's won. He won two in pre-season, both converted by Odegaard, and he's won another one. So he's a pen merchant in terms of winning them, and he's clearly able to draw defenders in the box and to draw contact on himself. Sorry, in the box from defenders and win us penalties. Surprised to see him play. I'll be honest. I didn't think he'll be playing. I think he's our second youngest player now behind Ethan, who came against Brentford a couple of years back when he was 15 and a couple of days younger, sorry. And it would have been nice if Matt Dowman took the penalty because I think he would have become the youngest Premier League goal scorer. But there's levels to this. There's a hierarchy. And we want to get Fitz Joker as much goals as possible. And I think the stat popped up. He scored 27 out of 28 penalties. So he's a marksman from the spot. This is what he does. He makes it look easy. And he dispatched a penalty with aplomb into the keeper's bottom right corner, bottom left facing. And that was 5-0. I mean, I'm not gonna get like I said, I'm not gonna get too high in the game. It was a pretty straightforward routine win. Uh, I do like Leeds. I hope Leeds stay up. So in maybe a couple of years, this game might be a bit more meaningful in terms of they're an established Premier League team because they might, you know, what I mean, they've been here for a while, make some more transfers, some new changes, have a stronger team. But until then, let's just stay a bit grounded because the big test is coming next week at Anfield. We're now missing Saka. We're likely missing Odegaard. Havertz is out for a long time. So yeah, I mean the players that will come in, Eze straight away has to come in my opinion. Noni on the right, Trossard he had decent game on his Trossard as well. He came on, looked very lively. So it could be him. I was surprised to see Martinelli get off the bench. But we're doing this thing now where we keep changing our fullbacks. So I'm not sure it's just a thing that we're just keeping them fresh, or is that maybe just a high intense position in our team? So we're trying to protect injuries. So obviously Mascara came on and Lewis Skelly came on. But that automatically takes away um, two subs. But I mean, I understand that at that time, in this game, it doesn't really matter because we're so far ahead. It didn't matter who you brought on. And he'll probably come out this week that Martin had an injury or some reason or something. But I mean, it shows our depth. Marino didn't get on either, even though he was strapping it like he's about to come on. So yeah, we got squad depth. Whether the quality of depth is there, not sure. But we have depth to plug in players to play with our best players, and they can all contribute in their own little way. So yeah, we march on, top of the league, 6 goals scored, none conceded, looking solid again at the back. I think we've won our first 2 games in the last 4 seasons, so this is not out the norm. It's how we go on, and how we go on is going to be very important because the injuries. Let's just touch wood. We don't get any more injuries because we can't use that as an excuse because rivals won't let us. I don't think we should let it be an excuse anymore. I did say we lost Havertz and got Eze. So if we've now lost Odegaard and Saka, is it possible we get a Rodrigo +1? It'll be interesting to see last 8 days. 8 days, yeah, 8 days of the transfer window. Depending on how long Saka's injury is, we may go in for Rodrigo, all guns blazing now, But we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, again, if you're listening today, thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, subscribe on all the other various social media links that can be found in the channel bio. And I'll be back during the week with the Champions League and a quick Champions League discussion as the draws on Thursday at 5 p.m. And we'll see our fate then. But until then, have a blessed weekend, have a blessed start to the week. Until next time, all the best.